Welcome back to the District 32 podcast, and we got Dean back in the studio again.
Hey, Kingsley, great to be back. Seems like a long time.
It does seem like a long time. It's good to have you back in the studio again. It was great having Paul on. Some amazing stuff that he gave us.
He's much better than me.
Yeah, well, that's anyway, we won't go there. But no, it was really good stuff, really good info, and I'm glad to have you back here and back on the Gold Coast again.
Yeah, it's great to be back on the Gold Coast,
Now, you were mentioning before we started recording that you've got a big question that comes up in people's minds around sales, and I know this has been a question that I think everybody deals with this one question pretty much on a regular basis. And I've heard so many answers to this question, but I want to know from you, when it comes to selling the close, is there the close, or how does that work?
Yeah, it comes up quite a lot in conversations, and people feel very uncomfortable around it, and some people just don't do it. They don't ask for the business, even though they've probably done a great presentation, handled the objections, and they leave the meeting without asking for the business. So it can be challenging for a lot of people, particularly if you're not a natural salesperson or you might be introverted. It can be tough, but it comes up quite regular. And a good question I got asked there recently is, can you give me 2 or 3 ideas that's not too salesy or aggressive that I could use? So I'm happy to share them. So the first one, it's I haven't come up with these names, by the way. The first one's called a puppy dog close. So that would be like, if you give a kid a puppy, you're not going to get that puppy back from the kid. So using kind of CRM systems as an example. So you appreciate the value of a CRM system, how it adds in terms of your sales and all that good stuff. So if you were, say, for example, selling CRM systems and you had someone kind of wavering, I don't know, I'm using spreadsheets and it's working. Well, give them the CRM system for a month. Now, you know that if you had a CRM system for a month, there's no going back. And that's a puppy dog close, because if they experience the benefits and experience the difference of having your product or service, they don't want to go back to what they were doing before, because it's saving them time, energy, money, and it's more professional, whatever the case may be. So that's called a puppy dog close, not my name. So, but that works really well. If you've got that product, you can leave with a client or a service for a month or 2, or whatever the period might be. And that's a nice soft one. Listen, why don't you try it for a month and see how you feel? And it's not too aggressive. So that's kind of a good one.
Sounds like an empath come up with the name for that one.
Possibly. The second one then is kind of, I suppose it's called a summary close, where like and this is where it's really important in the early parts of a conversation, that you're listening, actively listening, you're picking up all the pain points of the prospect. You've handled the objections. So a summary close is basically, listen, Kingsley, you've outlined the challenge you've got at the moment are A, B, C, and D. So what I'm suggesting for A is we do this. What I suggest for B is this, C is this, and D is this. Does that make sense? And then if I haven't covered everything at that point, you're going to say, well, listen, Ian, you haven't, D doesn't really work, I don't think, and then we can go back. But it's I've really kind of summarized the pain, the solutions, I made sure they match. And all I'm saying is, does that sound like we've kind of ticked all the boxes, Kingsley? And 99% of you're going to say, yeah, Dean, that's right. Okay, and then the next steps are, okay, well, the next steps are we can get the ball rolling next week. I just need you, whatever the next steps are with your product or service. So that's a summary close. Basically, you're kind of illustrating, I hear your pain, here's the solutions. Is that correct? And then you move on. So that's kind of a soft way of doing it as well, and that works quite well. I'd use that one quite a lot over the years myself, and that works really well. And it gives confidence as well to the prospect. They can see, oh, geez, this guy's really got me. He's really listened, and obviously provide the solutions. So that would be the second one. And the third one, I'd like to give the credit to, all I know is it was a female in District 32 who gave me this one a few years ago, and I just can't remember who it is. So if you're listening, let me know and I'll give you the credit. So,
great friend.
Yeah. So I do apologise, but I suppose you call it a scale close. So it's basically when you've got to get to that point where you've listened and got the pain, you know the solutions, and gone through all the objections. And basically what you're saying is, listen, Kingsley, on a scale of 1 to 10, is this a good fit for what you need? Now, if you said to me a 9, I'm going to go, brilliant. Okay, well, listen, it sounds like we're going to be able to help you, Kingsley. So the next steps are whatever those next steps are. But if you said to me, listen, Dean, it's a 4, Now, say I genuinely feel I understand your pain and I've got the solution. So if someone says to me before, what that means is I haven't explained it well enough to you, Kingsley, as in, here's how we can get rid of that pain and here's how the solutions work. So basically you're just going back to, okay, well, listen, I'm not going to be happy unless I get you to a 9 or 10. So let's go back to the pain is A, B, C, D, and then you're providing your solution. So you're only going back to a kind of, I suppose, a summary clause, but just saying to someone, oh no, on a scale of 1 to 10, and even if they said something like even a 3, okay, well, if it's a 3, what if you had a magic wand, what would I need to do to get you to a 9 or 10? And they'll tell you, well, Dean, if you could cover off X, Y, Z, and it gives you the information where you can go, oh, well, listen, we actually do X, Y, Z, because sometimes you forget stuff you should have shared in the conversation. So I'd find those 3 as being kind of, if you're uncomfortable in that space about closing, and we all have to ask for the business in some way, otherwise most of them is going to walk out the door or be left on the table. So for me, those 3 are kind of soft and gentle. And but what I'd say to people is, sometimes you might need to experiment with one that fits you personality-wise and you're comfortable with. I suppose if you went to the extreme, it'd be an assumption clause, whereas you've got to the end of the objections. Okay, Kingsley, I'll send my 10 widgets around for delivery, just sign here.
Yeah.
But you'd have to be super confident. And again, for me personally, that wouldn't fit my personality. So whatever kind of type of close you use, it's important that it sits well with you. But again, someone might say, I just hate closing. I'm going to, well, pick one and stick with it for a wee while and just see how it goes, because sometimes it can take a while to bed in, and then you'll find it's just automatic. It'll be very natural.
Yeah. And it's interesting with all of those, it leaves the door open for further discussion or follow up down the track as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I suppose no one likes to be hard closed. I know I don't, so you don't want to do it on another individual. So, but it is. I think the thing you need to highlight, Kingsley, is you have to ask for the business. Whatever, pick one way of asking for the business. I mean, like when I started in sales, I was rubbish, and my close was Kingsley, do you want one? I mean, which is really kind of brutal. But on the positive side, at least I was asking.
At least, yeah.
I was asking for the business, and I did get some sales from it just by, do you want one? But hopefully I've refined a bit over the years. But it's trial and error. Like you kind of find as you kind of analyze after your meetings, okay, I didn't feel too comfortable saying that, or I seen they flinched, it didn't flow well. And again, you got to stick with something for a while.
Yeah, you're right. It takes time.
It does,
until
100%.
It becomes comfortable. It's like any actor playing their role.
Yeah,
they don't just go up and do it. It takes time and rehearsal until it becomes so ingrained in them that you get past the automatic, and you can tell it's automatic till then it goes around again till it's a comfortable, natural thing.
It's like muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I say to people is, they're 3 kind of, I would say, soft ones. They're not in people's faces. Pick one or something outside of that trial it for a while and see how you feel. It takes a while to get comfortable with it as well.
Yeah, I love it. That's brilliant.
Stuff.
Thanks, Dean.
No worries at all.
Catch you next time.
See you soon.